The Houston Texans are a team, in my opinion, are one of the favorites to have the number 1 overall pick. And a lot of how their season is going to happen or play out all depends on Deshaun Watson. What is Deshaun Watson's playing status for the 2022 season? If Deshaun Watson doesn't play, it should be a lock that they have a number 1 overall pick. Should be a lock. Tyrod Taylor's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a guy that's going to win your team games when you need to. Going to make those huge plays. He's going to make plays. He's talented. He's an NFL quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he's not an NFL starting quarterback. And they don't really have anything around him. They traded for Anthony Miller from the Bears, who's probably going to be their best weapon, and it tells you how bad, the Texans' weapons are. You got him, Brandon Cooks. They just traded Randall Cobb away to the Packers to appease Aaron Rodgers. But this team doesn't have talent. Laramie Tunsil's a good left tackle. They've got a few other offensive linemen that are solid, but their running backs aren't. The running backs aren't great. The receivers aren't good. You got no real true weapons, and so that's going to hurt them. Even if Deshaun Watson plays, and we don't have no idea what's going to happen until probably tomorrow after this gets posted. But Deshaun Watson could play the whole season. He could play none of the season. He could play half the season. He could whatever. I don't know. Regardless of who their quarterback is, they're challenging for that number 1 overall pick. Even if Deshaun Watson plays and plays well, there's just nothing around him. Hey, defensively, J.J. Watt's gone. I know he's been injured a lot, hasn't played full seasons. He's gone. Whitney Merciless is still there. He's got talent. They traded away Bernard McKinley, so they still got Zach Cunningham. They've got some pieces and some players on defense that aren't bad, but just like the offense, you've got some players that aren't bad, but there's just a lack of total talent, total depth that even, like I said, even if Deshaun Watson plays this season, they're challenging for that number 1 overall pick. If he doesn't play, I think it's a lock, guarantee, number 1 overall pick. Okay? This team just lacks talent, lacks elite players, and then I haven't got into their coaching. David Coley sounds like he's a great person. However he is as a wide receivers coach, it's not like Baltimore's had a ton of, talent, and he not really developed, and that could be more passing game concepts. But here's a guy that was never mentioned, potentially never considered by many people to be a head coach, and now he comes into a dysfunctional franchise with a roster that's lacking, and is he going to be the guy that gets them up and going? He's not a scheme guy. Is he going to be able to motivate them and organize them enough to get where they need to be? I don't think so. This team lacked talent. They barely had any draft picks. Their first draft pick was a quarterback that they're hoping they can groom into a potential starter someday, maybe a high-end backup. They got Nico Collins, I mentioned. You got Nico Collins. You got Anthony Miller. Brandon Cooks are your receivers. This team, to me, screams train wreck. Their organization screams train wreck, and I think that's going to end them up with the number 1 overall pick more than likely in the 2022 NFL draft.